Maybe you're on this channel because you're developing as a person. But perhaps for some of you, you're not sure where you are and you're not sure where you want to be. You're figuring out which rules you've been living by and which rules you need to break in order to become who you need to be. So here's an exercise that you can try. When I think of this exercise, a saying comes to mind that I learned from my religious days, and I'm not going to interpret it. You can interpret it how you will in the context of this exercise. The saying goes that a good name is better than riches, and the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. Not to be morbid, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and draw out 2 headstones. If you don't know what a headstone is when people die, over their grave is usually erected a piece of stone, and it will say something like, in loving memory of dead person, and it will have a list of things that it will say what they meant to the people in their lives. For example, you might see loving father, loving mother, etc., etc. Think of the people in your life who knows you in some capacity. What would they say of you on your headstone? Write that down. When you've written that down, have a look and think to yourself, how much of this is actually what I wanted or who I wanted to be? And how much of this is me living up to these people's expectations? How much of this is the mask I've been wearing? How much of this aligns with my values? That leads into the second headstone. So in the second one, write down everything that you would want to say of yourself on your own headstone when you actually die. And when you've done that, have a look at the contrast between the two. Maybe you'll find a bit more perspective on who you actually want to become and what you need to change. How do I go from this headstone to this headstone? When you see it in black and white, sometimes that can give a clearer picture of what needs to be done. That was an exercise that was very helpful for me. I've got some more bits and variations of that exercise, which maybe I'll share in later videos, but I hope it's useful for someone else out there.